As the Maori myths have it, initially, the Sky Father, Ranganui, and the Earth Mother, Tuanuku, were bound together in an eternal embrace. Enveloped in each other, they lived in a continuous and unchanging state of love. Many children were born from this deep love, powerful gods, each of whom represented distinct aspects of the natural world. These included the god of war, Tumatuena, the god of the winds, Tawiri Matea, and the god of the forest, Tani. Ranganui and Tuanuku's union trapped their children in the darkness between their bodies. The yearning for light, space, and freedom started to grow within them. Each child, in their own way, tried to separate their parents. Tumatuena advanced brute force, while others suggested more peaceful strategies. But it was Tani, with his determination and resilience, who finally succeeded in pushing his father up, thus creating the sky and pinning his mother down, forming the earth. The split was an extremely heartbreaking event. Although separated, Ranganui and Tuanuku continued to love each other deeply. Their heartfelt tears fell to the earth like rain, while Tuanuku rose vapors to touch him. The separation from their parents deeply impacted their children. Angered by the pain inflicted on his parents, Tawiri Matea vented his fury in storms and violent winds. In contrast, Tumatuena faced the challenges and learned to survive and thrive in the New World Order, embodying Maori strength and endurance. The Ranganui and Tuanuku myth is riddled with teachings. It depicts the origin of life and the importance of balance between the natural elements. This tale is a metaphor for the complexity of relationships, the need to sacrifice for the greater good, and the interconnection between all living things. The story is preserved and honored through sculptures, paintings, and songs, and continues to impact current and future generations. The Ranganui and Tuanuku myth is key to understanding the Maori worldview. It instructs us to understand the interdependence between all aspects of life and emphasizes the importance of living in harmony with nature. Using this myth, the Maori expressed their respect and veneration for the natural world, recognizing the importance of keeping a healthy balance with the environment and with each other. The love story, separation, and eternal connection between Ranganui and Tuanuku is still a source of inspiration, teaching, and reflection for the Maori people and for everyone who knows this rich tradition. Hinui Nui is the goddess of night and death. She is regarded in Maori mythology as the gatekeeper of the underworld and the ruler of the final fate of souls. The goddess is often portrayed as a majestic and powerful figure, whose presence inspires both awe and fear. One of the best-known stories surrounding Hinui Nui is her encounter with Maui, the famous deceitful demigod. Known for his daring feats, Maui decides to defy death and seek immortality for human beings. He plans to enter Hinui Nui's body while she sleeps, and thereby revert the cycle of death. But Maui's bold plan ends in tragedy. As he attempts to carry it out, one of the birds following him giggles, rousing Hinui Nui. Upon waking up, she realizes Maui's attempt and kills him, sealing the fate of human beings' immortality. This story of her interaction with Maui shows the danger of excessive pride and transgression of natural limits. In Maori culture, Hinui Nui is both a respected and dreaded figure. Rituals and ceremonies related to the goddess emphasize the need to deal with death in a respectful and reverent manner. At her core, Hinui Nui is a symbolic representation of life's complexity and the inevitability of death. She personifies the Maori understanding that life and death are two sides of the same coin, both essential to the balance of the world. One of the most eminent figureheads of Maori mythology, Tangaroa, is the god of the seas and sea creatures. He is one of the children of Father Sky and Mother Earth, putting him within the major pantheon of Maori deities. Tangaroa commands the oceans, rivers, and all aquatic life, encompassing everything from the smallest streams to the vast seas. Tangaroa is often portrayed as a powerful and hot-tempered being, whose moods influence the tides and the maritime climate. After his parents were separated by his brother, Tani, Tangaroa was made lord of the seas. His actions and moods are crucial in shaping the features of the sea world, from peaceful stillness to violent storms. Tangaroa's relationship with his brothers, especially with the god of war, Tumatuena, and the god of the winds, Tawiri Matea, is rather complex. Stories describe conflicts and disagreements between them. One of their most well-known myths involves Maui, a crafty and bold demigod, famous for both his mischief and his adventurous spirit. Eager to prove his worth and cunning, Maui resolved to take on one of the greatest challenges possible, outwitting Tangaroa, the Lord of the Seas himself. Armed with a magic hook, crafted from his grandmother's jawbone and infused with ancient sorceries, Maui embarked on the task of trapping one of Tangaroa's precious treasures, the deep-sea fish. When Tangaroa noticed Maui's boldness, he responded with the ocean's unmitigated force. The water swirled with fury, triggering giant waves and tidal currents, trying to release the prey captured by the demigod, and to teach him a lesson about the sacredness of the marine realms. However, Maui persisted firmly, resisting the fury of the storm and the unfathomable power of the sea god. The clash between Maui and Tangaroa was a display of tremendous strength. The contest ended when Maui, with one monumental tug, brought to the surface not a mere fish, but an entire island, rising from the depths of Tangaroa's kingdom. Drained but victorious, Maui beheld his conquest, the island standing as a testament to his unrivaled courage and cunning. Respect and veneration for Tangaroa are central aspects of Maori culture, especially for coastal communities and those dependent on fishing. Practices and rituals are adhered to for appeasing Tangaroa, ensuring safety and abundance at sea. This includes the kawa rituals, governing the gathering of food from the sea, emphasizing sustainability and respect for Tangaroa's domain. Tangaroa symbolizes the importance of marine conservation and respect for the environment in the modern world. He is often cited in discussions about climate change, rising sea levels, and the preservation of marine ecosystems. Roko is the mighty god of volcanoes and earthquakes in Maori mythology. He was conceived by the deities of heaven and earth and kept it in his mother's womb, eternally bonding him to her and the underworld. The name Roko can literally be translated as the trembling well, directly alluding to his mastery over earthquakes and volcanic activity. As the god of earthquakes, he is considered responsible for all movements of the earth, from small tremors to major volcanic cataclysms. This power over underground forces reflects the Maori belief that the earth is a living being, breathing and moving according to the will of its deities. The god, on the one hand, is dreaded for his ability to wreak havoc and drastically change the landscape. On the other hand, he is worshipped as a creator, bringing new and valuable resources and landforms to the surface. Its earthquakes and volcanic eruptions are perceived as acts of destruction and creation, constantly shaping the face of the earth. His myths teach us about nature's unpredictability and the importance of always being prepared for change. Furthermore, Roko represents the idea that destruction and creation are inextricable parts of the natural life cycle. Tani is the god of forest in Maori mythology. He is regarded as a guardian of all forest creatures and the holder of knowledge, and is often called upon in rituals and ceremonies related to harvesting and hunting. Tani stands for ecological balance and sustainability, highlighting the need to care for and respect the natural environment. Tani is the offspring of the primordial gods Ranganui and Tuanuku, and was trapped in the darkness between them at the beginning of time along with his brothers. He is often portrayed as curious and forward-thinking, constantly striving to push the bounds of knowledge and experience. Tani's relentlessness with the eternal confinement between his parents led him to seize the initiative to separate them, paving the way for light and life on Earth. His attempts to force his parents into opposing stances were not only feats of physical strength, but also of tremendous courage and resolve. This separation sealed the beginning of a new era, where light washed out over the world and made possible the growth and diversity of life. When Ranganui and Tuanuku separated, Tani realized that, despite all the different forms of life that had come into existence, no beings could reflect the complexity and depth of the spirit. Spurred on by a combination of divine curiosity and a deep understanding of his own loneliness, Tani set about the task of creating the first human being. As the material for his creation, he chose clay, an element from Mother Earth herself, shaping every detail carefully, with commitment and respect. The very first woman, Hinui, was carved into the most delicate and intricate shapes by Tani. Not only did he shape her body, but he also breathed life into her, giving her the ha, the vital breath. This is how the god established the beginning of the human lineage, defining the moment when the divine came to be irreversibly intertwined with the mortal. A key aspect of the Tani myth is his journey to find the baskets of knowledge. Often interpreted as an ascent to heaven, this quest symbolizes the never-ending search for wisdom and understanding. The 3 baskets of knowledge contain all the wisdom for understanding the world, from the secrets of creation and nature to the mysteries of spirituality and the cosmos. The first basket, named Tekete Arunui, contained all the knowledge to live and prosper on earth. The second, Tekete Tuatea, stored the knowledge of rituals, magic, and spirituality. The last basket, Tekete Tuauri, was the most sacred, containing secret and forbidden knowledge. Upon returning to Earth, Tani shared his knowledge with humanity, teaching people about the world, its laws, and spirituality. Tani is extensively represented in Maori art, from sculptures and carvings to oral stories and songs. These renderings emphasize not only his might and skill, but also his wisdom and his role as a life enabler. Tani's legacy is still relevant to contemporary Maori and to all those who seek a deeper understanding of nature and the cosmos. He personifies respect for the earth, the quest for knowledge, and the importance of sustainability. In Maori mystical culture, there is an elusive deity associated with the forces of darkness, evil, and death. This is Wero, one of the many sons of Ranganui, the Sky Father. He embodies negative forces, all that is opposed to life and light. His realm lies in the dark corners of the world, in the shadows, and things that lurk in the daylight. Wero is frequently associated with feared or avoided aspects of existence, such as death, illness, and other negative aspects of human nature. The god is often in conflict with Tani, the god of forest and birds. This rivalry epitomizes the eternal struggle between light and darkness, good and evil. While Tani tries to illuminate the world and spread life, Wero strives to undo his efforts and spread decay and disorder. Wero was overpowered by Tani and sought shelter in the Maori underworld, known as the Rarohenga realm, a place of shadows and spirits where the souls of the dead reside. Wero is the guardian of the underworld and occupies a position of great power and responsibility. He is the master of spirits and dark forces, lording over a realm that, although feared, is a crucial element in the life and death cycle. Wero's presence in the underworld means that the souls of the dead are restrained and that negative forces do not spill over into the living world. He is seen as a necessary enforcer, preserving order in a realm where lawlessness could have catastrophic consequences. Wero's influence is not confined to the underworld. He is often associated with disease, misfortune, and all sorts of calamities in the living world. The Maori believe that Wero's presence and strength may be felt in everyday life, especially during unlucky or disastrous times. Notwithstanding his association with negative aspects, Wero is not a strictly evil figure in Maori culture. His stories teach the consequences of greed, jealousy, and corruption, and emphasize the importance of living a balanced and moral life. In Maori rituals and spiritual practices, Wero is often called upon or acknowledged as a force that must be appeased or contained. He is recalled during certain rituals intended to protect against evil or during ceremonies related to mourning and death, acknowledging his role as guardian of the underworld and the forces of darkness. Cognizant of Wero, the Maori respectfully maintain a balance between the different forces that govern life, always remembering the importance of facing and understanding the dark side of existence. Wero myths bolster the Maori belief that the universe consists of dualities and opposites, and that each element has its own role in balancing the cosmos. Tawiri Matea is the wind god of Maori mythology. Son of the sky god Ranganui and the earth goddess Tuanuku, Tawiri Matea divided the cosmos with his brothers, the war god Tumatuena and the forest god Tani. From the beginning, Tawiri Matea was different, more attuned to the ethereal and intangible aspects of the world. This god personified the powerful skies, controlling winds, storms, and everything volatile and unpredictable in nature. Tawiri Matea's story is punctuated by a decisive and transformative event, the separation from his parents. Whereas his brothers wanted to divide heaven and earth to bring light into the world, Tawiri Matea strongly opposed this act, seeing it as a violation of the natural order and an outrage against the eternal love between his parents. This conflict triggered a deep rift between Tawiri Matea and his brothers, especially Tumatuena. Following the separation, the furious and saddened Tawiri Matea descended to the heavens, gathering his armies of stormy clouds, furious winds, and lightning. He declared war on his brothers, engaging in a string of battles, reflecting his anger and grief at losing his united parents. His storms and gales were physical manifestations of his inner rage, representing his struggle to protect the world he knew and cherished. The god is also known as the keeper of the air elements. He controls the winds, storms, and atmospheric phenomena. The feature of the myth reflects the Maori understanding that weather patterns and natural phenomena are powerful and sacred influences in their lives. Tawiri Matea's tale is an allegory of the powers of nature and their impact on the world. It reflects the respect Maori have for natural environment forces and the understanding that these can be both destructive and vital to life. Although Tawiri Matea's actions are seen as destructive, they are also interpreted as an effort to uphold the natural balance and protect what is sacred. That is why, in modern Maori society, Tawiri Matea continues to be an influential figure. His stories are told as stark reminders that nature, in all its beauty and fury, is a key part of life and should be treated with respect and care. Within Maori cosmology, she takes pride of place, symbolizing fire, a vital element playing a crucial role in human life. Her presence is both feared and respected, as fire, under her patronage, is a force that can both create and destroy. The most famous story surrounding Mahika is her encounter with the trickster Maui. Known for his feats and cunning, he embarked on a journey to obtain the god's fire for humans. To do so, he had to trick Mahika. This deed signals the transfer of fire from the realm of the gods to the mortal world, making it accessible to mankind. As the goddess of fire, Mahika plays a significant role in Maori cultural traditions and practices. She is often invoked in fire-related rituals and is seen as a figure teaching about the responsible use of and respect for this powerful element.
The Maori god of war, Tumatuena, stands for the brutal force of war and the vitality of everyday life. He is the son of the Sky Father Ranganui and the Earth Mother Tuanuku. As the child of Ranganui and Tuanuku, he has inherited traits from both, revealing his strong bond with nature's elemental forces. This made the god a fierce protector and guardian of the natural world. Tumatuena is depicted as a merciless and brutal warrior in battle, but he is also seen as a great, courageous, and strategic leader. His portrayal as a warrior god echoes Maori values and culture, placing emphasis on strength and skill in battle, as well as respect and honor for one's opponents. Tumatuena also epitomizes resilience and the ability to overcome obstacles and is a model for Maori warriors in their pursuit of balance between the physical, spiritual, and emotional. One of the most interesting stories involving Tumatuena is his role in the breakup of his parents. Sky and Earth were originally joined in an eternal embrace, keeping their children trapped in darkness. As he and his brothers were determined to bring light into the world, Tumatuenga embarked on the monumental task of splitting up his parents. With his strength and determination, Tumatuenga had a crucial hand in this event. Ranganui and Tuanuku's separation is a key moment in Maori cosmology, symbolizing the creation of vital space for life and growth. Such an act by Tumatuenga reflects his power and importance within the Maori pantheon. The god of winds and storms, Tawiri Matea, brother of the war deity, mourned the pain brought upon his parents by his brother. He furiously rose up into the sky to gather his stormy cloud armies. He swore revenge, bent on punishing those who had separated his parents. Tumatuenga was the first to feel the wrath. The storms were roaring, the winds howling, and the sea waves rising in a violent tumult, each element of nature aligning itself with Tawiri Matea's fury. However, Tumatuenga, unshaken in his resolve, braved the storm. The battle between both was epic, a contest not only of strength but also of will. The lightning lit up the sky, and thunder rumbled like war drums. With every thrust of his spear, Tumatuenga dealt with the biting winds and torrential rain. Ultimately, notwithstanding Tawiri Matea's destructive power, Tumatuenga stood firm. The dispute concluded not with the subjugation of one by the other, but with an understanding of the importance of balance between nature's forces. Tales of Tumatuenga have become key teachings and values in Maori society. Lessons about courage, respect, responsibility, and the balance between strength and wisdom are passed on to younger generations through his narratives. Tumatuenga lectures on the importance of tackling adversity with resolve and honor, emphasizing values such as bravery and leadership. His stories provide a source of inspiration and moral guidance for the Maori community. Tumatuenga has a significant standing in Maori art and culture. He is often portrayed in sculptures, tattoos, and other traditional art forms, each reflecting different facets of his personality and stories. For example, Maori tattoos can use patterns associated with Tumatuenga to illustrate protection, strength, and courage. Tumatuenga also plays a significant role in Maori religious practices and rituals. The rites and ceremonies attached to him often involve offerings and invocations seeking his protection and guidance. During conflict, Maori warriors would seek Tumatuenga's blessing for strength and victory in battle. A traditional Maori dance, the haka, is a powerful way of expressing a spiritual connection with the god of war. Commonly enacted before clashes, it serves as a powerful summoning of the warrior spirit, harnessing Tumatuenga's untamed energy and strength. Every haka gesture, from the wide eyes to the pounding of the feet, delivers a powerful message of defiance and readiness for battle. The chest thumping, the fierce yelling, and the intense facial expressions are not only expressions of physical strength, but also statements of inner courage, endurance, and collective solidarity. This dance expresses the intrinsic values associated with Tumatuenga, pointing out the importance of bravery, togetherness, and preparedness to face challenges. When performing the haka, the Maori not only pay tribute to Tumatuenga, but also seek to embrace his power and presence. They embody the god's bravery and determination. The haka hence turns into an act of collective empowerment, where individuals come together to form an imposing front, enshrining the unity and unbreakable strength of the Maori spirit. With this powerful cultural expression, Maori not only reassert their legacy and identity, but also call upon the strength and wisdom needed to face any challenge that lies ahead. Tumatuenga has a major influence on traditional Maori warfare practices. Maori warriors looked to emulate his virtues of strength, skill, and guile, and before battles, they would perform rituals and prayers devoted to the god to secure protection and success. Maori warriors became famous for their unparalleled blend of physical strength and mental agility, honed both on battlefields and in peace councils. They guard the lands, traditions, and values of their people. With their faces covered in traditional moko tattoos telling the stories of their lives, families, and conquests, these warriors were highly esteemed figures because of their deep connection to the god. Alongside his role as god of war, Tumatuenga is also inextricably tied to nature. This attachment emphasizes the need to care for and respect the environment, a core principle in Maori culture. His stories often teach the importance of striking a balance with nature, pointing out the need to live in harmony with the world around us. Throughout time, the worship and meaning of Tumatuenga in Maori culture has evolved. Originally focused on rituals and offerings, his cult has adjusted to embrace Maori social and cultural changes. Now he is venerated not only as a deity of war, but also as a symbol of resistance and perseverance when faced with adversity, reflecting the Maori people's steady journey towards self-determination and the survival of their culture. The god also performs a vital role in Maori education, where his stories are used as teaching tools. Through storytelling and illustrations of his actions, children are taught about bravery, ethics, and the significance of maintaining Maori culture and traditions. This educational style emphasizes story-based learning and experience, using Tumatuenga as an archetype to ingrain core values and principles in Maori youth. Throughout modern Maori culture, Tumatuenga continues to be a major figure. His influence can be glimpsed in the way modern Maori approach issues such as war, peace, and the preservation of culture. Stories of Tumatuenga, with their lessons of strength and honor, continue to inspire and provide guidance in challenging times. Over the centuries, the figure of Tumatuenga has evolved, but his spirit and teachings have remained an integral part of Maori identity, standing as a great symbol of the resilience of Maori culture. The great sun Tamanui is a god who holds a special place in the Maori pantheon, not only because of his self-evident importance as a source of light and heat, but also because of his profound connection with world-making and life itself. In Maori cosmology, Rangi and Papa were bound together in an eternal embrace, shrouded in darkness. The gods that sprang from this union lived contained in this tight quarters, yearning for freedom and light. Tamanui was one of these children, born in the heart of darkness, but fated to bring light into the world. Once his parents had been separated by his brother Tani, the god of the forests, Tamanui ascended to the heavens, whereupon he became the personification of the sun. Acknowledging the need for light for life to thrive on earth, Tan gifted his brother with the sun, embellishing Rangi's body with this powerful energy source. Upon his ascension, Tamanui became the bestower of light and warmth, essential elements for life on Earth. He is affiliated with the growth of plants, the fertility of the earth, and the cycle of life. He oversees the intensity of the sun, the length of days and nights, and the change of the seasons. Its presence provides warmth, vitality, and energy, boosting growth and prosperity. On the other hand, its absence leads to cold, darkness, and the slumber of nature. His connection with the goddess of death, Hinui Nui is particularly intriguing, as he represents light and life while she is darkness and death. Their eternal dance through the heavens reveals their ever-present cycle of life, death, and rebirth. As a source of life and energy, Tamanui was revered by the Maori through rituals, offerings, and invocations. Daily chores were dedicated by his cycle, and agriculture was deeply dependent on his blessings. The Tohunga, adept at rituals and ancestral knowledge, invoked Tamanui to ensure good harvests, pleasant weather, and to ward off the dark forces. They made offerings of food and precious objects on sacred altars, seeking his blessing. By way of example, the Maori calendar was built around the movement of the sun, setting the times for planting, harvesting, and celebrations. Major feasts such as Matariki, which celebrates the Maori New Year, were defined by the appearance of constellations that matched the solar cycle. The spiral, a recurring symbol in Maori art, depicts the journey of the sun and the vital energy emanating from it. The wooden carved human face with large expressive eyes often symbolized Tamanui passing on his vigilant presence and ancestral wisdom.